have to use your reason and aql to search for the right path. Imam comes and asks Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He says to him, Dullani ala Rabbi, ala ma'budi. Guide me to my Lord. I'm lost. Imam alayhi salam says to him, هل ركبت السفينة? Did you went on board of a ship in the sea? He said, yes. The Imam says, هل انكسرت السفينة? Did the ship broke in a state that you were almost to drown, where there's no swimming, you're in the middle of the sea, there's no other arts or ships to save you? He said, yes. The Imam says, did your heart attach to something great, strong, supreme? He said, yes. The Imam says, that is Allah. That is Allah. You attach, because the fitrah takes you towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. And the Islam is simplified in this hadith. Hadith al-Thaqalayn, narrated by all Muslim scholars, Shia and Shia. إني مخلف فيكم الثقلين أو تارك فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعترة أهل البيت ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا. I leave two precious, two heavy things, the book of Allah and my progeny and my Ahl Bayt. Salamu alayhi. But did the Ummah follow the path of Ahl Bayt? Salamu alayhi. Or they killed them? What they did to them, Allah Akbar. قتل من قتل وسبي من سبي وأقصي من أقصي. Who left? Nobody. Even the children. This Baghdad, in the time of Harun, Allah, he used to build the Alawis, the Shia of Ahl Bayt, in the buildings, between the buildings. Allah Akbar. Alive, he built his building, his castle, and inside the walls are the Alawis and Shia of Ahl Bayt. Vicious attack against the Shia of Ahl Bayt, because they love Ahl Bayt. This is the only time that they love Ahl Bayt, they pursue Ahl Bayt. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليكم. Imam Sallallahu alayhi, he says, whoever cries on the tragedy of my grandfather Al-Hussein alayhi salam, Allah will surely forgive all his sins. Allah. Just a cry on Al-Hussein, it wipes your sins. Allah Rahman Rahimeen. Allah gave this rahmah to Imam Al-Hussein Sallallahu alayhi. What the Khatib, the lecture reads in the member, Ya Rahmatullah al-Wasi'a. A great and immense rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. A single drop can turn off hellfire. Yes. A single drop can clean your sins. This is the rahmah of Ahl Bayt, which is Rahmatullah ta'ala. Tonight is the night of one of the warriors, one of the brave hearts of Ahl Bayt, Muslim ibn Aqil, salamullah alayhi. Muslim was sent by Imam Hussein salamullah alayhi to Ahl Kufa. Because Ahl Kufa wrote to Al Hussein alayhi salam letters, almost 12,000 letters. أقبل فإن لك جند مجندة. Come to us, you have an army, you have everything, we're all with you. Have you seen those people? They shout, they scream, and they say slogans, and when it comes, they run away. Imam said, الناس عبيد الدنيا والدين لعب على ألسنتهم. People worship dunya, and the religion, when he says Alhamdulillah, la ilaha, it's just on his tongue. It doesn't actually proceed and goes to his heart. It's just the words they say. There's no faith. So the Imam Sallallahu alayhi sends Muslim ibn Aqil to Kufa. Salamullahi alayhi. Initially, Ahl al-Kufa, they make bay'ah with him, they support him. 18,000 men, they make bay'ah with Muslim Aqeel. Muslim goes to the mosque of Kufa, he offers the prayer, Maghrib Isha. In the same time, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad comes to Kufa to turn off and to avoid the uprising of Hussein salam by Muslim against Yazid anhullah. So he spreads between Ahl Kufa that the army of Yazid is coming, of Sham, because they used to scare people with the army of Sham, Jaysh al-Sham. It was very scary, because in the time of Muawiyah, he had a very scary and fearful army, killing thousands of Muslims. Just in one incident, let me mention this. In one incident, Muawiyah sent Busr ibn Arqad to Yemen, and he killed 30,000 men, women, children. 30,000. وَسَبَعَ نِسَاءٌ. Allah. It was the first time that Muawiyah gets the women of Muslims captives, and they were sold in the markets as slaves. Allahu Akbar. What a great crimes against the humanity. So Ibn Ziyad, he sends the rumors to say that yes, the army of Yazid are coming from the Sham. Khalas, leave Muslim, don't support. The woman comes out from her house, he tells her husband, don't go with Muslim. ما لنا والخوض بين السلاطين. Let's forget these engagements with the sultan, with the leaders. We don't want to get involved in anything. So gradually the numbers of supporters of Muslim Aqeel goes down and down. Muslim rahimahullah wa salamullah alayhi, when he finishes Salat al-Isha, he turns, he sees nobody around him. Allahu Akbar. He walks out alone في سكك الكوفة, in the alleyways of Kufa. He searches for somebody to support him, to tell him, to shelter him, but nobody there. He walks towards house. He sees that there's a woman standing on the doorstep of her house. She was waiting for her son to come back. It was Taw'a, rahimahullah. He says to Taw'a, can I have some drink of water? She goes and she brings him water. He drinks the water. And he keeps standing on the doorstep of Taw'a. She says to him, what do you want? Go back to your family. He says to her, Ya Amat Allah, La ahla li wa la ashira. I don't have anyone. It's just me alone. She says, who are you? He says, I'm Muslim ibn Aqeel, Safir al-Hussein. Allahu Akbar. She says, then welcome to my house. She brings him to her house. She offers him a room to stay there. He stayed all the night. بين راكع وساجد وقانت وداع. He stayed all the night, praying salams and dua and cry, because he knew his death time is close. So he spends the night in dua. Her son comes back. Her son, Taw'a's son, was one of the army of Ibn Ziyad anhullah. He says to her, who we have the guest? She says, oh, I want to tell you. She says, no, please tell me, I won't tell anyone. So she takes the Ayman al-Mughallada. He swears to Allah that I won't say to Ibn Ziyad and so forth. But he betrays later on. She tells him that it is Muslim. So on the next morning, he goes to Ibn Ziyad. I found you. This is the madiyat. When the human sticks with the madiyat, this is the result. He goes to Ibn Ziyad, he tells them that Muslim is in our house. Muslim, salamullah alayhi, he prays Salat al-Subuh, he hears the beats of the horses. وقعقعت السيوف, and the sword. So he comes out, he gets his sword, they attack him from all sides. فيقاتل قتال الأبطال. He fought with them a fierceful fight. Allahu Akbar. Suddenly they dug for him. They dig a trench behind him while he's fighting. Allahu Akbar. He falls in that trench and they capture him. And one of the enemies, he strikes him with the sword on his lips, in which the sword reaches his teeth. Allahu Akbar. So he starts to bleed. They take him to Ibn Ziyad. Ibn Ziyad says, take him to the top roof of the Qasr al-Imara. فأخذوه للسطح, سطح قصر الإمارة. They took him up there. They said to him, what do you have? Your last minutes. You're dead. خلاص. He said, let me pray 2 rak'ah. He prays 2 rak'ah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he turns to Abu Abdullah. He says, Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ibn Rasulillah. Abu Abdullah, don't come. Ahl al-Kufr betrayed. Don't come. Ajarakum Allah. Suddenly that enemy, he strikes his head. He cuts his head off. People were waiting down in the castle, waiting to see the news of Muslim. While they were waiting, suddenly they saw a body of Muslim without head thrown from the top roof of the Qasr al-Imara on the floor. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, mu'mineen, mu'minat, there's somebody else who also fell from the top of something. Al-Hussein salamullahi alayhi fi yawm Ashura, wahidan farida. He was alone, single. He was on his horse. The enemies start to throw the arrows and stones. فضربه لعين على جبينه. الله أكبر. ولعين ضربه على خاصرته. طعنه في خاصرته. الله. Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi, he fell from the horse on the ground, saying Bismillah wa billah wa ala millati Rasulillah.